Hello guys, and welcome back to a new stream session. I'm super excited for this one. And as always, we will do a little bit of talking before starting the actual game. It is a first playthrough for me. Like the other games that I played. Of course, except for Mafia 1 or 2 and 2. But I didn't play the remastered versions, so it is a first playthrough kinda, or was. And for Hellblade it is actually a first playthrough. But I already knew of this game, and I already I watched a let's play of that game. It was a long time ago, basically when the game came out. Yeah, and I thought, I mean, in my country, I don't know, it's around 2017 was it appeared, or it was released, and it's from a British game studio called Ninja Fury. And back in the time, it was relatively, um, yeah, not unknown, but it was not. I guess Hellblade was the game that really made this the developer studio, or that game studio, um, famous or well known in the gaming industry. Yeah, they release. I'm not sure if it was first released for only for consoles. I'm not sure about that. I think, or of if the PC version came first. Doesn't matter anyway. So I really enjoyed the game back then, and it was around that time, I guess, when I at least consciously was consuming ASMR videos on YouTube for the purpose of relaxation, and I don't know, it's just like other people listen to music, or if they want to chill and calm down. I found on YouTube those ASMR videos, and back then I guess the first one that I watched was about, I don't know, 2000, and in the early 2010s, I guess. There was not so much content on YouTube regarding to ASMR. It was basically just heavily about background noises, e.g. rain, or I don't know, human voices of people in the background. Maybe, for example, in a busy street or in a cafe or something like that. It was not exactly the content that you have. It was not, the variety was not, and also yeah the 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 videos was not so, there were not many videos that you could choose from. And then came that game, and then Hellblade was released, and it was the first of its kind You will see what I mean if you haven't played or seen it yet. And it is kinda ASMR. If and unlike other people, but I completely get that, it is not confusing or not unsettling or not uh, disturbing or bothering me. It is actually the opposite. I really enjoy such content, and the game did such a fucking great job with the audio, with the sound design, so to speak. It is overwhelmingly, and on the top of that, you have a great story. It is it was back in the time a great setting. It was not a setting that you would explore often in games. By that I mean the Norse mythology. It was just a different vibe, and it was the game did something that other games didn't do before, and it did that, or it does that quite well. And if you maybe heard about the second part that will be released in the near future, because of the success of the first one. And I'm an enjoyer of the Norse mythology, and I mean in general I am an enjoyer of mythology, any kind of. But yeah, let's find out what this game is about together, and I'm super excited. I almost forgot everything about. I vaguely can remember the story. It is not a super complex or super deep story, but it is a very touching one, and you really yeah, develop sympathies for that character, for Senua, throughout the story. And it is well, the pacing is good, the music is fantastic, the voice acting, oh my god. It looks good too. It is not cutting edge, but for the time it was released, it has fantastic graphics compared to other games. It could easily, yeah, it could easily compete with other games, and I can't play it on the highest settings. I already tested it, so you will see. We will go through the menu together, and I will, because that is actually one of the features of the game. It is very friendly in terms of settings that you can adjust or that you can turn off and on, so that really a wide variety of people can actually enjoy that game. And it was not so common back in the day for games being that, yeah, being that adjustable or that customizable. So yeah, with that being said, let's finally jump into the game. And when we start, I have to just quickly have to place my avatar in the right spot so it won't in a way. Of course, we will play on PC. Let me see if I can adjust the audio level a little bit. Okay, this should be right. So we will play on PC, and I will go through the settings real quick for anybody that is interested in such stuff. So for the graphics, I set high. I tried a little bit, and I think we are good with high. Ray tracing, I don't think my graphics card can support that. It's too old. I set it to off. Yeah. There are very high and yeah, low, medium, high, and very high. And I guess high is about good. I guess. I hope so. If not, I adjust it to medium. Let's check. Okay. So. Of course, gamma, I made it a little bit more brighter than I would play it on PC without streaming, so because of YouTube. Yeah, for the controls, I don't, we will find out, I guess there will be a tutorial. Audio is, of course, on max, and the subtitles are really, I mean, look, I turned it on, and yet I now just there is an accessibility option that you don't commonly, or maybe now in games that are released now it is more common, but back in the day it wasn't so common, and you have an own option for that exclusively, and you can choose the subtitles color, for example. You can choose the size of the subtitles. You can even yeah, make a background or turn it off. You can for the menu as well, and you have options of the sound, and for colorblind people you can also adjust the settings so that you can enjoy the game, and I think that's fantastic. So there is the combat difficulty, I guess, is the overall difficulty of that game, and it was set to auto, but I guess the game will decide by, I don't know, how many times you die, for example, or how I don't know how the game decides it, but I can imagine that it will adjust the combat difficulty regarding how yeah, how good you are in the game, how good you are in the fights. But I set it to normal and turn the photo mode off because we don't need it, I think. So there's continue there because I started the game and tried the graphics settings so that I don't have to do that now on stream. The only thing we have to adjust it in the beginning maybe is to position the avatar. But first let's what the frick is happening with that? Was it there before? Okay, first let's jump into the game and yeah, enjoy the cutscene at the beginning. Or yeah, you will see.
Hello. Who are you? Doesn't matter. Welcome. You're safe with me. I'll be right here, nice and close so I can speak without alerting the others. Let me tell you about Senua. Her story has already come to an end, but now it begins anew.
What's happening? It's breathing. The head. It's breathing. It's breathing. Why? He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer. She's getting closer. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching.
This is a journey deep into darkness.
They're watching.
There will be no more stories after this one.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? They're watching. Why doesn't she feel her coming? She's doing this for him. She wants to rescue him. He's already dead. I can feel you coming. Quiet.
Oh, how rude of me. I never told you of the others. You hear them too, right? They've been around ever since the tragedy. Well, that's not quite true. Some are old, some are new, but they've changed. I think the darkness changed them, just like it changed her.
Can you see them? Over there. Why isn't she looking? Why aren't you looking? It's in hell high.
Look, up ahead.
Hell high.
You see it too?
You promised you came.
Yes. It is real after all. She's finally arrived in the land of mist and fog. The place the Northmen call hell.
Turn back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe. Go back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe.
It's them. They're here.
Can you see them? I can see you.
Look around and you will see them. The drowned, the sick, the slain. Here they lie, rotting in the fields and rivers of hell. But the dead don't always lie still here.
You see them?
This is not a place of rest.
You can't do this. Go back. Go back. They're going to do that to you. Can you see them? Can you see them? They're going to do that to you. They're watching. Stop. Can you feel them watching? They're watching her. They're watching her. You're so close to the darkness. Go back. Can you feel it?
What is she thinking? I can tell you. She's afraid. Wouldn't you be? You'd think she would get used to it by now after so many years. But the darkness, it just builds onto itself, growing stronger, towering over her. You might try and ignore it, turn away. But it's always there, just out of sight, where you're most vulnerable. It's like it knows that just enough light is all you need to see its suffocating power.
They can feel you.
You might think she's brave to go on this journey on her own, but it isn't bravery that drives her. bravery only means something to those afraid of death. Senua's fear runs far, far deeper. What is she looking at? What is she leaving behind? I know what she's thinking. I hear her thoughts. It's not too late to get into the boat and go back. No one will judge her. No one will ever know. Oh, she heard us. There's no going back.
You can't do it.
Senua pushes away a world that conspired to cause so much suffering. There's nothing to go back to, and worse to look forward to. Why don't you join us? Maybe you too have a part to play in this story.
And so it begins. So let me just place my avatar in the right spot. I guess that should be fine. Okay. First thing, you noticed the whispering voices. And if you never heard something like that, it is maybe at best irritating. But I think you get used to it. And in the game, the voices play a crucial role for the story. I don't want to spoil anything, so I just say nothing more about that. Besides that, you already maybe have noticed Senua herself speaks to that voices with her thoughts. She don't speaks. She thinks, and you can hear what she is thinking sometimes. So and if you noticed, if I try to look at her, she will turn away. So she don't want to be looked at. That is also something that I didn't notice first when I watched the Let's Play. And I mean, it's it makes sense, right? Someone else plays that game, so. But the moment I try to look, she moves her head away. She avoids being looked at. That is a small detail you will, yeah, unravel her story, her past. That is a part of the game. That is an actual big part of the game. What happened? What is she up to? What is her mission, or why is she here in that place called Hell? Yeah, and why it is worth going further from this point. I mean, it's why it's getting worse and worse and worse, and why can't she just go back, turn and go back? We will all that questions will be answered when we play the game. And before we start, as you also actually noticed, it is a dark game. The story is dark. I mean, the visuals also. So it is not for children. It's for an adult audience, I think. It's not just because in the game are such violent depictions of, or I don't, you know what I mean. So, gore or actual like that depicting humans that are that are dead or got killed in a horrible way. It is also about as in the psychological way. It's a dark story, but it's not one that it is also a story where you can learn about a human. I mean, about Senua's character, what she went through, and it is she's doing that for a reason, right? So, and we learn about it, and it is also also a story of you could say bravery, or I don't want to say too much about that. We will find that out when playing the game eventually. So just one other thing, it is not called Hell. Hell is the name of the god that the hell as a place where the dead are where the people go when they die, not in battle or when they're not drunk, when they're not drowned in water. I mean, that people that go to Niflheim, and that is the counterpart of the counterpart of hell as we know it in Christian religion. It is the underworld where the dead are going, basically, and the god that rules that underworld is called Hell. And it's and maybe the river she was crossing on the boat is Skjol. That is the river that divides the living area or the living world from the dead world. You have something similar in other cultures, for example, in Greek mythology, where you have Styx, and Hades, who rules the underworld. So, and actually, it is not impossible to go to the underworld. There are folk tales or myths in the Norse mythology that exactly tell stories about gods that went to Niflheim, to the. I mean, Niflheim is just one of the 9 worlds that are connected by Yggdrasil, by that world tree. You heard maybe of it, and it's an underworld. There are other underworlds, I guess. There are what was it called? There are a counterpart of Niflheim, Muspelheim, I guess it's called, and whereas Niflheim is the underworld of fog and mist and ice, and it is very cold. Muspelheim is the quite opposite underworld. It is fiery. There are volcanoes, I mean, and smoke and such things. But Niflheim is reserved for the dead. And there we will go, or try to go. Because Senua has business to do there. I'm not too well versed in the Norse mythology, but when I see something that I recognize or that I know of, I will let you know. And the other thing that you maybe noticed, of course you noticed, is the head that is actually hanging from her belt in the back of her. And that's, I don't know what that is called in English, but basically a linen or a sack where you can transport a cut head, and she has something. She wants to do something with that head. So let's find out what will await us.
Focus.
Look closer. Look. Use your eyes.
Why isn't she looking closer?
She needs to look closer.
Focus.
So there's a button, especially for focus, where we can. It's a little bit zooming in, and let's see what this does.
Do not forget my stories, Senua, because your darkness comes from hell, and your fate lies there. They say the burning of a corpse will take you straight to Hela's gate, but gods and the living will follow this path. You must leave the Isles of Orkney across the eastern sea and find a road that leads north and down through deep, dark valleys. After 9 nights of riding, you will follow a great river and will find a bridge covered in gold. The path to Helheim goes from there, across the River of Knives that flows from the dark world of Niflheim.
Yeah. Okay, that is right. Then there's river was not girl. The River of Knives. It is and that bridge that is covered in gold is practically the entrance to the underworld. And it is guarded, and the guard is not a friendly one, but it is not so that it is that it won't let you pass. That it won't let you pass. It's not like in the Greek mythology that a three-headed dog, Cerberus. But it comes with a price that you will pay if you after you entered, and it could be anything, I guess. And it is super interesting how in different cultures actually people living or half gods or gods, semi-gods, try to go into hell or into that underworld of their cultures and try to I don't know, to bring beloved people back, or to just do business there, as if you could actually go there.
They're coming. You can't do it. They're coming now. They're coming. yearns for life, hungers for that pack of wolves in her heart. But she's not stopping. Not this time.
So this is the bridge.
Can you see it?
The land of mist and fog.
Maybe.
He's in there.
The old fool was right.
You see him?
What was it he said? The river of knives across which lies the halls of hell. The place they call Helheim.
He's lost. He's lost. Where are you? I hear you. He's there, you know it.
There's no doubt about
He's
it.
lost.
The source of the darkness is in Helheim,
They're
and the goddess Hela holds his soul there. Her dear beloved, Dillian.
So there you have it. We are actually try to get our our Dillian back.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? Why doesn't she turn back? She's doing this for him. She wants to rescue him. He's already dead.
And it is in the Norse mythology. It's not about
His soul still lives.
being dead and
He
stay
needs to
that way.
save his soul. She wants
There
his
are
soul.
tales of resurrection or
She needs to lay him to rest. He's already dead. She can
by
save him. There's
going
nothing she can
into
do.
Helheim or Niflheim and
She'll never make it to Helheim.
She can't let him rot here.
and actually complete the tasks or pay the tribute, the price to get a soul back, and it is possible in that tales. And so yeah, we will try that.
Do you know
The
where
bridge
you
to
are?
Helheim. I forget its name. She forgets too. But she does remember that only the dead may cross it. That part wasn't so easy to forget. The old fool said there was a hidden path up to it. Let's see, shall we?
And it lags a little bit, I guess. Maybe I have to adjust the graphic settings. So and there is an actual gate that is at the end of that bridge, which you as a fun fact, you can there are tales, or there is a specific tale where a god tries to get the soul of his brother back from Niflheim, and he jumps over the gate to enter Niflheim. He just jumps over it. So it is not it's not impossible, at least for God.
The Northmen speak of 9 worlds. The world of men they call Midgard. Sky gods dwell in Asgard. The gods of earth, harvest, wind, and sea dwell in Vanaheim. The good elves dwell in Alfheim. The evil ones dwell in Svartalfheim. The mountain giants dwell in Jotunheim. The fire giants dwell in Muspelheim. Niflheim is the world of ice and darkness.
Yeah.
Only the dead dwell in Helheim. And that is where you must travel.
Yeah. That is not so Helheim is not a world that is separated from the 9 worlds. It is science or the history science believes that Niflheim is the world where Helheim is located. So basically, it is that when you hear of Helheim, it is most likely Niflheim. So where there are no other worlds apart, no other worlds outside that 9 ones that was mentioned. So in one of the worlds, the dead has to be so, and that is Niflheim.
What's up there?
And it's interesting because you heard of Muspelheim with this quite opposite world. It's a fiery world where, where volcanoes are constantly erupting and where it is hot and it is steamy and it is fires are burning everywhere. And you, if you are born in a Christian, culture, or then you would suppose, or you would maybe think the dead were in Muspelheim, but actually, it's interesting that they are in a world where ice and darkness rules, and it is foggy and all the time it is basically super cold. It's winter all the time, and
Don't stop. You can't. Quickly, go, quickly.
the game has it's basically an action adventure, so we will fight.
Just drop down. Why is she going down? What's down there? Where have we gone?
I have to, I don't know how to drop down. Okay, there's an action button.
Why
You
did
have
she
to
do
press
that?
F.
She shouldn't have done it. She can't go back now.
No, this is it. The hidden path.
So Senua is super desperate. She would do anything to bring back Dillion, I suppose her man or her former man, and she won't let anything get into her way.
It's going to hurt you.
It's dangerous.
Don't kill me. I'm not one of them.
Don't listen.
I was just hiding. I find I live longer that way. Don't listen. I never let the bastards catch me again. Never! Wait. Who are you?
It's just a memory.
Druth? Is that you?
How do you know?
For my tales of the Northmen, they call me Druth. A liar.
He's lost.
An old fool. Druth is my truth.
It's good to see you again. You kept your vow.
Guide you in this life and the next. I will tell you my stories of hell, if I may walk with you.
your stories again, old friend. I'm listening.
The runes seal the gates to hell. Focus your inner eye, and you too will see what's hidden in plain sight.
Use your eyes. Use your eyes. Come on, look.
That is actually an important part.
Focus. Take a closer look, Senua.
So the Vikings held runes quite high. They back in the day they ascribed that symbols magical power too, and it was for Odin. It was super painful to learn the meanings of the runes, the true meanings, and he 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 sacrificed his own body, kinda. I think he cut himself and hanged himself with the head facing downwards to earth from a tree over the well of wisdom, and he kept there for days and tried to learn and master the runes and to get behind the meaning of that symbols. And it's and when he finally did, he was kinda enlightened, you could say. So they are not just symbols that you use to transport meaning, like our like a written language. It was also used for rituals, for magic spells and kind. So they are very important.
I can see one.
Hold it in your mind's eye. Find one like it to open the gate.
So it's kind of a mini game, I suppose we have to find. It's super cool how they flying around. And I guess now we have to find that one that looks like that on the door, on the gate.
It's just that. You'll never find it.
And I want to go to Niflheim now, IRL, because I'm sweating like shit here. It's so hot. I want just a breeze, a little bit cold air. Anything would be fine.
It's just that.
I have to focus, I guess.
It's the secret.
Maybe I'm too close. Or maybe it's somewhere else.
He's not
Let's go back. Ah,
It's
that's
here. Focus, and you will find it.
so if you tend to have if you have I don't know, epileptic seizures or if you have anything like a psychose, or I wouldn't recommend playing the game. I mean, that is what it is, right? So
It's the secret.
I'm too dumb. But I guess I'm close.
It's hidden. Look for it.
Look
Oh,
towards
there
the
it was.
gate, and the gate will open.
It's in shadow, actually. And it kind of reminds me of my childhood when you, as a child, something like that shadow, you maybe, I don't know, your imagination runs wild and you see something in it, and actually there is nothing. I mean, like the monster under your bed, for example. But when you try to see things where nothing is actually, so. But now for her it makes perfect sense, and you don't. It's cool like the game works. It's super hard to tell in times if that is actually, I mean, in the game world, actually something that is real or something that she just, that only she can see, that she just come up with.
The gate is open. Go through the gate.
Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
I mean, that gate could have been open the whole time, so. And it was just something that she had to process in her mind. That makes sense.
Learnt their ways.
I know you did.
You listened when everyone else laughed. My people paid a heavy price. Carry my stories with you, and together we will make the Northmen feel our fury.
Another voice joins us. She once tried to make them go away. Pretend they weren't real. But what good is that? When we are always here.
So she hears voices in her head. She basically has, maybe I would say, a psychosis, or she is maybe not sane anymore, and we will find out why that is, and what caused that. I mean, yeah, I don't know, she lost her mind, or I'm no doctor, but hearing voices in your head is maybe not a good sign, I would say. So, but it is super cool that voices speaks not only to her but also to the audience. I mean, they break the fourth wall, and they give hints. They do the tutorials. They really fulfill a wide range of different functions in the game. They add to the story, to the atmosphere. They evaluate about Senua's emotional situation, or how she's feeling right now, or what she's thinking maybe, and it is so cool, and that is all. It feels so natural. And that is what the game makes really special, I think. I mean, it is not a new concept to give a player, or a player character, the main character of a game, something like a companion, somebody, or some. I mean, for example, in Zelda, you have what is it called, Navi, or the little fee, or so that was an idea that is old, or is that idea is old, but doing that in form of voices that you can hear, that is in the head of the character. And I mean, yeah, you could do that, but they are not just companions. There is a reason why she's hearing their voices, and it is an integral part of the game, of the story, of the world building. And it is tied all so well together. And
I guess it's the same with heights. You can stand on the edge,
this is a
pretend it's going to be okay, but you know that death is near, waiting for you to make that little slip.
Okay, we have to balance.
You can't just
Not good
push
at this.
things away.
I have no problem, but in games. Okay, we made it.
The world of the dead is ruled by the giantess, Hela, daughter of Loki. The gods feared her bloodline, bad on her mother's side and yet much worse on her father's. So, as a child, the All-Father cast her down into Helheim and gave her power over those who die of sickness, age, hardship, and self-slaughter. In all of the 9 worlds, only Hela can resurrect the dead. To Hela, your Dillion was sacrificed, and with her you must bargain.
Yes. She is actually the daughter of Loki, or one of the childs of him and his him and a giant called, I got Angerbroda or something like that. It's funny. One other child is Jormungand, the world, that snake that in the water. You can, I mean, maybe you've heard it of God of War. That snake that is so long that it is, yeah, it goes around Midgard. And yeah, Hela or Hell is not it's not a god that is very friendly, or very, I would say, positively. I mean, yeah, she is just the god of the underworld. What you expect, and she is. But you can bargain with her, and she gives souls free. I mean, she can resurrect the dead, and she will do that if you pay a price for it. and it is not like and it is not like a price like Ichi. Yeah, you have to stay here, and in order to make the person you want to resurrect go back to the living world, it is that price can be practically anything, and of course it is not a price that is it is not a low price. It's always a high one. One moment, please. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. And it is in there are many many things in Western culture that derives from Norse mythology, or that old Norse culture. For example, the weekdays we use. Friday is comes from the god Frigg, and I guess she's the wife of Odin, and of course Tuesday is the day of Thor, the god of thunder, and I guess there's another weekday that relates, or that is derived from Norse god. I think it was Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that culture had a really had a great impact. And I mean, the Vikings, they lived on Iceland and yeah, in Scandinavia, and about I guess 8th century and until the 11th century, they were thriving. And in the end, yeah, like in most cases, the Christians came, and yeah, you know that you know the rest. But thank God there was scribes, the Scaldans, and scribes that wrote down the history, the mythology, the tales. So, and another good thing is that the Vikings don't wrote on paper. They engraved the runes in stone and wood, and therefore it is more likely that you, as a historian or as an archaeologist, find artifacts with actually writings on it, because paper is not so endurable. And that is also the reason why the runes are not very complicated, like Ichi Chinese symbols, Chinese the kanji. because you have to engrave that some or grave that some in wood or in stone. You could imagine you don't want to you don't want to sit half an hour just for one symbol, so you make easy symbols, easy to carve symbols. So this is the gate.
You have to open it.
The gate to
And as you see, you
Hellfire
can
provides
basically jump
deliverance
over
from
it if
the
you
dead.
are a god.
Is that the face of Hela herself? The half-rotten goddess that rules over Helheim. Whatever horrors lie behind that door, she must find him. Shh. Someone's here.
I think that will be our first fight.
You took him from me. I beg you, let him go. I'll give you what you want. I won't resist anymore. Just give him back.
Oh boy, let's go. So we basically have two attacks that we can perform. One is fast with the left mouse button, and a heavy hit with a heavy attack with the right one. And by pressing space we can roll, or I don't know, dodge, what it is supposed to be. And I try my best to not die here.
Yes, no. You can do it. You're close. She knows what to do.
Remember the rolling trials.
Oh, we actually can kick with pressing F. That is the action button. So in combat it has a different function.
You did this.
A vision of what's to come. Poor Senua. The darkness does not bargain. It does not reason. It is rot. And now it has taken hold. It will spread towards her head, the seat of the soul, until there is nothing left of her.
Please,
suffering will have been for nothing. It's just a matter of time.
Oh shoot, I totally forgot about that. Oh god, no. For fuck's sake.
The hardest battles are fought in the mind. That is what Dillian taught her. With every defeat, the dark rot will grow and soon it will take her soul. But for now, at least, she still has control of her mind. And she will fulfill her vow, whatever the cost.
He's not right.
Listen to me, Senua. The goddess Hela lies behind the gate to Helheim. To open the gate, you must first face the gods that guard it. The god of fire, Zurt, and the god of illusion, Valravan. Spill their blood to open the gate to Helheim and enter the land of the dead.
To Dillian.
To his soul. It won't open.
How will she get through?
So I don't think that is
Why can't she?
something that is in
She has
Norse
to fight
mythology.
two gods first.
It's something that the game made up. So for
She's going
we
to
want
die.
I want to turn the settings for the combat mode to easy.
Choose a gate, Senua.
Two gates, two gods. She's too scared.
Because I'm here for the story, for the ambience, for the overall feeling of the game, and I don't want to ruin the complete progress by dying too often. So in order, I mean, it is it's a let's play project. I don't want to start all over again, and I don't think you want to see that too. So let's turn this to easy and let's have a look at the controls again. So for fighting, fast strike, heavy strike, melee attack, okay, evade. Ah, block, that I didn't use. Block, okay. Change target, set and see. What the hell? Yeah, I think that game came out for the consoles first, let's say. So yeah, about that term half rotten goddess. Actually, Hel or Hela, as she's called in the game, or maybe she's also called. She has maybe many names. She is basically one half of her is dark and the other one is bright or white. She is literally like that character out of the Batman universe, I guess it was. She has literally two sides. And she is often in a bad mood. So yeah, I don't know if we have to go where we have to go first. It's just
Valravan, ancestor of the seers and master of ravens. He hunts his prey with his powers of illusion and feasts on their remains. Follow the path to Valravan and defeat him in battle to earn his mark. The gate to Helheim cannot be opened without it.
Okay. So let's try. And I can't draw my sword right now. I can't just draw it. It will the settings automatically switch to combat mode if there are enemies. If not, I can't do anything with my sword, and I can't jump either. And it is an interesting fact that she walks actually. I mean, I press W and she walks. I specifically have to push shift in order to make her run. And I think the game wants that because it's all about immersion. And you can't immerse yourself if you're running through the game. Or not, at least not so well.
Ymir was a frost giant, a being of darkness, and all his sons and grandsons were dark after him. Of his daughters and granddaughters, some were monstrous, but others fair. But there was another who came from the ice. Buri. In shape, he was like a man, big and powerful. His son, Bor, took a fair giant to be his wife, and they had 3 sons. Odin was the eldest, and the Northmen hold him to be the foremost of the gods, the All-Father.
Yeah, and I think Ymir was also the first like a living creature and in the cosmos, and Odin and his brothers killed him and formed the worlds, or Midgard, I guess, out of it, or the cosmos, yeah, itself. It's a relatively brutal story, but you know, Vikings were not known for being kind. They actually raided and looted and murdered, and yeah, in order to survive. They were quite. It was a quite brutal time back then. I know I maybe have to go there, but I want to see if there is something.
What's that? It's a wall. It's a door. No, it's a bridge. No, it's
Let's
not.
see.
Push it. Push it. Push it. What do you think will happen? Come on. Come on. Push it.
Yeah, I'm doing it already.
She did it. She did it. She did it.
I'm not sure what that is supposed to be. Maybe it is the solution for the riddle that awaits us in front of the door. Potentially, I don't know. I really do like. I really do like what they did with the character. I mean, how it looks, and especially they place so much focus on the facial expression, and it was, I mean, it's Unreal Engine 4, and it's insane what, I mean, what you can do with the current version with Unreal Engine 5. I think is the current one, I don't know. It is super realistic how you can, and it's super easy to capture actual people for creating a character, or I don't know, for example, expressions, and map that over an in-game character. It's astonishing.
Illusion hides the path to Valravn. Don't trust your eyes. Find another way to see the truth.
Okay, so maybe now that and there's a Raven too, so there's a hint, and maybe now we have to look through it. And it is not a fast-paced game, but you don't need it. It's all about immersion. So now, if you look through it, yeah, I like that. So if you go through that portal, now it's open.
Something's different. Can you see?
It's funny. We all want to see behind the veil, don't we? Once we do, we mostly just close our eyes again and pretend what we saw was never really there.
Yeah, that's true. So in that sense, it quite reminds me a little bit of Portal, of the two Portal games, which also played with vision effects. Oh, was that clipping? Clipping? Arrow? Oh yeah, kinda. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, that is not intended to be there, I guess. And I think I can't remember properly, but I think we will encounter fights here and there. It is not always about riddles and walking simulator. It is also about fighting, but we will get to there. We'll get to it.
Senua never could close her eyes, however hard she tried. Begged.
Oh yeah. I will say one thing. If that actually is
Christ should
massive
be for
wood,
seeing things differently.
can't move that.
Because once you gaze into the relentless darkness, all that lurks within it can see you too.
Wood is actually so heavy. If it's massive wood, it is freaking heavy. Does that look like a sacrifice? Some sort.
End it now. This is nearly the end. You finished it. It's nearly over. Finish it.
Okay,
The
we
Northman
did
will
it.
not stop her. She will find what she's looking for.
I like that whispering voices a lot. And I like it even more if I don't understand the language that is spoken. It can be so relaxing. And I'm super hyped for the second game, for the second part of that game series. I watched, I guess, the teaser trailer of it. It was announced, I think a few weeks ago. I'm not 100% sure. Are we? Wait a minute. We're going back, right? That is wrong. So, yeah. I like that kind of games. You don't always need 50,000 abilities and a skill tree and something like a crafting system and an online mode and whatsoever. You don't need it in a game. It is cool if the game has that and if it makes sense for that game. But there are games like that which are very minimalistic. But they work too. And I'm very much enjoyer of a good story and a good character design. It is, for me, it is more important than anything else. Graphics are, yeah, not so important. Audio also must not be important. It depends on the game, of course, but and in this game you practically have everything. Yeah, except for example like you know, the crafting system also, but that the game don't need that. Okay, now we have to find a symbol like that.
Valravan's power of illusion comes from ravens. Align the ravens to break his magic seal.
Show me what you have seen, Truth. Look how much it's changed. It's all different now.
So we just and it's cool how the game by that slowly makes you see things where maybe actually no things are. So it plays with that with her psychosis, or with now we have to, as a player, we have to
Align the ravens
make
with the
sense
mark
of
Valravan.
something that doesn't make sense in the beginning to begin with. So we have to search for, I don't know, for symbols or for signs, and over-interpreting things actively, and by that we naturally getting closer to Senua, or to her character. Unless you are as dumb as me and can't solve the easiest riddles. Jeez. Oh, there was actually something, right? Wait a minute. Now we're playing peekaboo. Okay. So we have to go. Oh, okay. I really do like that concept. She does that on her own. Oh, okay, I get it.
Something's shifted. Something's happened. Something's shifted. Can you feel it?
That game is not 300 hours long or so. It's a relatively short one, I guess. But it had a great impact on me. For being such unique. For having a unique idea, and
Do you
for
feel it too? It's like crossing into another world that
for being able to transport
looks the
that
same
well.
but feels different. An imposter world where the forest itself is watching.
So let's search the area. Also cool. Look at that in the background on the wall. That shadows that looks like eyes that watches us. And maybe it's just a shadow that is casted onto the wall by the leaves of the bushes and trees, but it looks like ice, at least in Senua's point of view, or from Senua's point of view, it looks like we are being watched by eyes that pop up everywhere. It's so cool. I mean, that are the small details. Okay, so there we can't go through.
Another gate.
Another gate. You know what to do. Stay back. You have to open it. It's not safe. Don't listen to them. Listen, don't. Open. You can do it. Don't touch it. Stay back.
And there are many voices in her head, and some of them are encouraging and others are mocking her, making fun of her. But the moment she gets in, she actually, her life gets actually in danger. We witnessed that in the first fight. They all come together and try to help her, because if she dies, they will die with her. Okay, nothing happened here when going through that gate. There's another one up there. Let's try to get there somehow. And I can't just jump or climb. It's not possible, so I must be standing on the right spot. For example, here it won't work. So there are limited options, and
Break the seal. Align the ravens with the mark of Valravan.
What does it mean?
Which ravens?
Where are they?
Can't you see them? She can't see them.
Look around. Look around. Try to find the ravens.
Line up the ravens.
Line them up. He said line them up.
Yeah. So maybe now I triggered something. I hope so. Let's see.
What is it?
I hear something.
If you hear the song of Valravan, follow it, and it will lead you to him. But be aware of his illusions. You can't always trust your eyes.
Okay. Oh frick.
The song. Valravan's song. Listen, focus. You need to focus. Focus. Valravan. Challenge me.
He's gone. He disappeared. Where did he go? Where is he? Find your fault.
No, he's back there.
Fight me.
Got a little break.
Is she lost? Wouldn't be the first time. Last winter, before the tragedy, she journeyed into the wilds of her native land, living off berries, roots, and rabbits. It's not uncommon, you see. We call such a person a Gelt. Some, like Truth, become Gelt in search of penance. Others, like Senua, to purge a curse. Those who make it back are forever changed.
Oh, interesting. Oh, if that is actually true.
There he is.
Let's go up there.
She can get up now. What's happening? She can get up now. She can get out. Must be magic. Dark magic. A trick. Valravan's tricking her. Valravan. How can she get out?
Bait.
It's him.
Dark magic draws her closer.
Valravan's magic. It's not him. He's helping her. It's not him.
It's a trick.
She's doing it on her own. He's not tricking her.
It's magic. It's an illusion.
Had voices actually. The first time I watched a Let's Play, I found that quite irritating, and because yeah, the guy that played the game, like me, was of course not silent all the time. It was not a silent walkthrough, it was with commentary. But it is practically impossible because the game itself have already so many voices constantly talking. and commenting on everything. No, I don't think we are. I have to go back on this. Well, let's see. Can we open the gate now? Let's see. I'm actually not sure if this the fire, the many oh, now it's close. If that is a graphic bug, or if it's actually like that, it's, or is, I mean, is it intended to look like that? I guess so. Yeah, I'm not sure what we have to do here. Maybe it's something up there that I missed. So we basically have to reach a spot from where we can, by focusing, puzzle together that symbol. I think it would be up there by that wooden construction. About because it has to be, I guess, a place a little bit elevated. Yeah. I guess we will find that out in the next episode. We can't actually go up there. And yeah, maybe I'm wrong and we don't have to go up there. Unless nothing happened if I do so. So maybe. Yeah, that is not the right side. I have to be on the opposite to be able to make that symbol, to create that symbol by looking at it, or the different parts of it. Somehow I have to get up there, I guess. Yeah, we will find that out in the next episode. Yeah, and that's it for today. That's it for the first episode of the game. And I must say I'm already drawn completely or sucked in completely in that game, in the atmosphere. It's super fun to play, and I recommend playing it yourself if you haven't yet. Yeah, so we will continue this journey together, and if the second game comes out, I try. No, I can't play it. My computer's too bad. But eventually, I will play it sometimes. But for now, let's stick to the first one and clear it. I hope you had fun, and I hope you could enjoy the whispering voices as much as I did. And yeah, we'll see each other tomorrow, 8 p.m. UTC +2 as always. And as always, of course, also stay safe and have a good one. Bye bye.